Back on the Newsfeed PM, thanks for staying on. The South African Social Security Agency is calling for all hands on deck approach to its executive and senior managers to assist beneficiaries who are currently undergoing a review process. Beneficiaries have been urged to not be alarmed and heed the call to have their grants reviewed so that their personal details can also be updated for ease of communication going forward. Let's speak now to Paseka Letsatsi, speaking for SASSA, joining me in the studio. Paseka, good to have you. Thank you very much for your time. I was saying to you as soon as you came in, why is it that, at least in my recollection, since May, it might be even earlier, but every month, almost clockwork, the review process is dealing with hiccups where people are saying, well, I'm supposed to get paid, I'm not getting paid, and I don't know why. And every month you must explain this particular process. What's happening? Is this the ineffectiveness of the system? Is it exposing the incapacity within the system?
Good afternoon, TM, and thanks for having me. Long time anyway, I have not been speaking to you in a long time. I think it's embedded in the regulations as you apply for the grant that you have to make sure that as an organization, SASSA, we have to make sure that we review the beneficiaries. In this instance, TM, you'd find that somebody comes to us, and we just want beneficiaries to be honest. They come to us, you make an application, we ask you which bank you want your money to be deposited in. A person says Bank X, right? And when we go into the Bank X, we find out that the 3 months bank statement says 0. So the person doesn't have money. Only to find out that our systems can pick up. If you give me your ID number now, I can be able to pick up that you have the account with Bank A, Bank B, Bank X. And in another bank, the person is getting 30,000 a month, and they're not disclosing. So we are saying, as an organization, as SASSA, please be honest when you come to us. Do not give us false information. Yeah. Just tell us exactly whether you are getting extra source of income or not.
There are those who are trying to scam the process. That's one thing, and I understand you're trying to catch those. But it seems the process then affects those who are not trying to scam the process. So you'll have somebody standing in a queue saying the system is non-responsive, in the sense that it's an old person, 81, 83, saying, I've been standing here in this queue for a day or 2 days, and I'm not getting an answer. I don't know why my grant has been withheld. I don't have any other source of income. I'm here. In fact, one of the stories we were getting last week, the man was saying that right now I have to literally go and get a short-term loan from Mashonisas to pull me through until this particular process is resolved. So non-responsive, one. Another one says it's inconsistent. I got the grant in February, I got the grant in March. Now in May, my conditions have not changed. I don't know why am I being taken through this process again. Another one just says, look, I'm not given a reason as to why I'm being reviewed.
No, thanks for that, TM. You know, this is not the first interview I have. I had an interview 2 days ago. The person who called says, no, I don't have money. I don't get paid. And we said, give me your ID. And I can tell you the system is 100% accurate. But just come and prove me wrong. Yes, the reason why the Chief Executive Officer of SASSA, Mr. Themba Matlo, has issued an instruction that all of us must go to the country, because we can't stay in the office and not feel what's happening in the ground. We are going on Tuesday to all the provinces just to get a feel of in terms of how things are going. But we have taken a decision as well, Thabo, that we just want to make sure that there's a queue that is specifically for people who are coming for reviews, so that people don't queue and get frustrated. But secondly, our IT system is going to introduce a system where you go, there's a kiosk, but secondly, you don't have to come to the office for us to be able to review. We're doing it with a 350 COVID grant. People make an application without coming to the office. Yeah. So those are some of the things that we are trying to make sure that people do not get frustrated.
Let's talk then about how many people are being affected by this review process.
210,000 people that we have flagged. We have not stopped the grant yet. We have flagged them. We are saying, please present yourself. The first month, we will send you a signal. The second month, we'll do so. But within 90 days, once the 90 days has lapsed, unfortunately, we'll stop your grant. But secondly, we'll escalate. We have not escalated, and I want to say it here on air. We have not escalated this matter to law enforcement agencies. We are just being cordial to say, let's work together. Let's make sure that you become honest. I've met people in Soweto last week who say to me, I want to come forward. I have been getting this grant illegally. And I told them, please come and sort the matter out. But if you don't, unfortunately, we'll escalate. And I want to repeat it, Tab. We have not escalated the matter. Yeah. It's a cordial arrangement, please.
So at this particular point, there's no one who's been sent to the law enforcement agencies?
No, we have not reached that stage yet. Right. However, if people don't do what is right, we will be left with no option but to escalate to the law enforcement agencies.
So to those who've sent the signal, what does this review process entail? What are they supposed to do? What are the processes that you're going to take them through?
You just come to us and we say to you, in terms of our records, TM is getting 50,000 every month. Is the information that we're having correct or incorrect? Yeah. And we explain that my daughter is giving me 50,000 every month. I'm just making that as an example. Yeah. You explain to a SASSA official and we take you through the process. But you can't sit down and we can see that the ID number, you've got 3 bank accounts. TM, it's just that we respect, what do you call it, POPIA. Yeah. If I have to give you an information of a director of a company who applied for the grant, we have that information at our disposal. Sure. You know, we had a situation where government processes were not talking to each other. COVID came, and we had to make sure that we cooperate with, like, for an example, if a person is deceased, we would not be knowing that the person is deceased until you come to us and tell us that your uncle is late. However, we have live interaction with Home Affairs. So if you are deceased, we know it, that the person is deceased. So the technology and the information, it's readily available at our disposal. Hence, we are using this advantage to make sure that people don't defraud the state. I mean, you know that the treasury as coffers are very dry. Yeah.
Now, somebody would listen to you and say, well, part of the reason why people, I suppose, would not want to come forward is because if I am, maybe 50,000 a little bit more severe, but if I'm getting a particular portion, right, or from my grant, and my cost of living is probably double or triple that, okay, and I'm getting assistance from my son, I'm getting assistance from my brother, right, to make ends meet. So I still need the grant, I still need their support in order to cover my cost of living. If I then don't have that anymore, I'm not going to be able to cover my cost of living. But if I come in, I raise my hand, you're going to say, well, you're getting funding there and so funding there, you're not going to get this one.
You can still get money from your brother, you can still get money from your uncle. In actual fact, it's 8,900 in terms of the old age grant. If you get anything less than 8,900 rand, you can still come and make an application. But secondly, we don't just say it's 8,900. You say, I pay electricity, I pay water, I pay services, I pay school fees for my grandkids and so forth. We take those things into cognizance that we can't deny you a grant. So this is an information which we need to make sure that we do beneficiary education so that people understand that the intention here is not punitive, but to educate that the money must go to those who need it. Yeah.
At one point, is this process then becoming seamless, where we don't have to have this conversation, say people again, hey, we're not getting paid, we've not got our grants, right? So that everybody understands it's seamless now, it literally regulates itself.
No, quite right. It has to, in actual fact, I just attended a workshop with the Department of Social Development, which deals on how to link social grants to economic opportunities. The intention is to make sure that people don't depend on grants. I'm sure me and you, in the next 10, 15 years, we don't want to be depending on grants. We want to be self-sufficient. Right. So that's the intention, to make sure that we don't have people, but we actually offload them. We empower people, and we have many of those examples that we can give to the public.
Paseka Letsatsi, there's plenty we could talk about, but let me leave it there. Thank you very much for coming on once again this afternoon.